Hey YouTube, how are we doing? I am Tommy and welcome back to my channel. I hope you can see my head in the shot there. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you how to remove the rear wheel on your Triumph bobber. The reason I need to remove it today is because I'm fitting a White Rose Customs tail tidy kit. So I'm doing away with a mudguard and relocating my rear lights and the number plate. But in order to do so, I will need to take out the rear wheel. Now, I won't show you the full setup with fitting the White Rose Customs kit, because actually White Rose Customs has done a great job on their own video on their YouTube channel, so go and check that out. I'll link it below. So we're going to get basically, you can actually remove the rear mudguard without taking the back wheel off, but you need a really low profile hex ratchet, which I don't have. Plus I also need to remove the rear wheel spindle anyway to fit the White Rose Customs number plate holder. So I'm going to get on and do it and show you how easy it is. Bearing in mind I've never done this before, so I'm winging it, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two. And if I can do it, you definitely can. Let's do it. Okay, so safety first. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to lift up the rear of your bobber in order to get rid of this back wheel. So what we need to do is bang it up on the lift. I've already done so on my Halfords motorcycle and ATV lift. Now, what I have surmised, basically guessed, when I remove this rear wheel from the bike, it's going to remove a whole lot of weight from the back here. So I need to make sure the front of the bike doesn't dip down and fall off the stand. So I'm going to support it on something sturdy, my trusty box of envelopes. So I'll just bung this under the front wheel, lower it down so the front wheel just about is sitting on it. So if the worst were to happen, it's not really got anywhere to go. Let's bang it down there. I've got a light right next to my face, so I look like a ghost. But the first thing I'm going to be doing before I try and remove this rear wheel is get rid of this chain guard. The reason being, I feel it would be easier just to manoeuvre the wheel about and sort of manipulate it how I need to get the chain over the sprocket without that there. And equally, I need to get rid of it anyway for my tail tidy kit, which is going on. So I need a T30 Torx wrench for this one with a long handle, and I've got one just here actually, because this bolt just in here is quite awkward to get to if you've only got a short stubby. So a nice extender bar will help you out no end right here. Just two bolts here to undo. One of these is the chain, the guard here. The what do you call it? A chain, the mud guard stay bracket holder basically. So we'll undo that one, undo this one, and get rid of this massive chain guard. And the bolt will pop right out. We'll keep that safe, and I'll do my zip tie trick on that in just a few moments. It might flop off onto the chain, that's all right. And this bolt comes out. That one's got a little washer on it, so we'll be sure to keep that nice and safe. This should just slide out. Careful not to scrape any of the paint. Lovely. It's pretty clean. I'll give that a good clean up before I store it. Okay, I've got the bracket just here. One of the bolts actually just screws into the fastener on the back of the chain guard just here. But this one here at the front just flops about, and we're going to lose that. So my little trick is get yourself a zip tie and make it into a small loop. Bear with me. Okay, so you need a little loop just like this. Place it over the bolt, nip it up tight. That is not going anywhere. When you want to remove this, incidentally, if you just hold on to the bolt and undo it, basically it just unthreads itself off of the zip tie. So you're never going to lose that bolt. Okay, so here we are on the near side of the bike. So basically, this, you don't have to undo this side because it undoes from the other side, and this tube basically slides through. So what we need to do is first of all loosen off these brake caliper. There's only one on the bobber as opposed to the front, because being a bobber black, mine's got two discs at the front. This is a 14mm, this one. This one's a bit smaller actually, so let's have a quick look and figure out what size that one is. Okay, 14mm, 12mm. This, incidentally, the 12mm is exactly the same as the front brake calipers. So I'm going to loosen those off. I'm going to have to fashion away. There is an ABS sensor just there, which I don't really want to mess with. So I'm going to find a way to basically get the caliper out of the way and just tucked out of the way so I don't have to mess about with the ABS sensor, and also so it doesn't get in the way of me trying to remove this wheel. So let's have a go at that and see what that looks like. So we're going to start with this first bolt here, which is the 12mm. What I'm going to do first of all is just loosen it. If I take that bolt all the way out, I reckon this will just pivot around this bolt, which will make this harder to undo once the caliper's flopping about and moving around. So I'll undo this a little bit, undo that a little bit, and then get both of them out. Switch over to the 14. This is a bit closer to the frame than the other bolt, so I'm going to be careful not to take the paint off. Lovely. So that is just finger tight now. So I'll undo both of these bolts and we can move this caliper out of the way. You can't get these rungs back into the wrong hole because they're both different sizes. So let's get that off. No washers or anything like that to worry about. And that should slide right off. Oh, that's good news then. As long as I can keep this somewhere around here, I won't have to worry about the ABS sensor. So I'm just going to let that flop down there. There you go. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be all right. So I can remove this back wheel now without upsetting this ABS sensor. I was going to try and do it without messing about with these. Can you see that in the picture there? These adjustment screws. But because I'm fitting a different fitting back compared to this, because the White Rose custom setup comes with this, I'm going to have to undo these screws anyway. And that will allow me to move the wheel forward a little, just so it will be easier for me to get the chain off of the sprocket. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen these off now. I have pre-figured out what size wrenches I need for this, and you need open-ended 13mm for the front one just there, and an open-ended 12mm spanner just for this back one there. And I'm just going to go in here, and I guess I'll just have to loosen that one off. It came out quite nice and easy. Once I've got the new tail tidy kit on, I'll have to make sure this is all in the right position and the wheel is nice and square in the frame. So let's undo this one as well. Give me a bit more space. That undoes quite easy. That's just a little rubber cap on the end of the bolt just there. But you can actually take that off, and I can undo that with my finger. That's how easy it is. The wheel is actually still in situ just here. So one thing I would say is before you do this, get an idea of how much slack there is in your chain, and then you'll have an idea mentally in your head when you put it all back together whether that's a little bit right. I'll take the camera around the other side and show you what that looks like on this bike. Yeah, it moves up about an inch, something like that. Not as tight as I thought it would be, actually. Okay, since we're around this side of the bike, I'm going to go ahead and loosen off this bolt here. Incidentally, this one doesn't have a rubber cap on, so it's either come off or it was never fitted with one. Interestingly, there is a little plastic washer in there. Let's get that nice and out of the way. Obviously, I've just done the chain test to see how much slack there was in it. Obviously, consult the manual for your bike and just check that it is the right, because that might have gone a little bit slack over time in the 18 months that I've had this bike. So consult your manual just to make sure you've got the right tension in the chain before finalising it. I need to undo this bolt. I don't know if you can see that yet. I need to undo this bolt. It might be pretty tight on there, so I might have to lower the bike down so I've got a bit more leverage by getting the wheel down onto the floor, because I don't want it wobbling around on this stand. but I'll have a quick go first and see what happens. That's what this is all about. Okay, undoing this big bolt here, that is quite a, it's a nut actually, that is quite a hefty bit of kit. It's actually a 27mm, so most toolkits won't have that sort of size in it. Luckily I've got a big one from Halfords I bought years and years ago. Excellent investment, by the way, so if you don't have the right toolkit, go and buy a decent one now. I'm going to try and undo this. I guess the bike is going to flop about a bit on this stand, so let's see if we can do it without lowering it onto the floor. It's moving about a bit, so I'm going to lower the bike down and do it. Okay, now the bike is rested. It's still on the lift, but both wheels are resting on the floor, so it can't pivot about its centre point. I'm sure there's a technical word for fulcrum, something like that. Pivot point, I don't know. Anyway, let's undo this. Bloody hell, that's tight. Luckily, I'm quite hefty. Ooh. Right, that's loose enough. I'll be able to keep loosening that off whilst the bike is in the air. So let's get it back up and get the envelopes back under the front wheel. Okay, next up you will need a trusty rubber mallet or a hard plastic mallet. Basically what I need to do is knock this the wheel pin out of the frame, and I don't really want to whack it with a metal hammer, so get yourself the right tool for the right job and we'll see if this works. I've done a bit of a wider shot on this one, so in case it does the bike does fall off the stand, then at least I can send it to Beadles about. So let's give this a knockout and see if that works. It's going. Once you've got it through a certain amount, I'm guessing you can just pull it quite easy from the other side. But I will also need to support the back wheel so that it doesn't just fling onto the floor. So I need to figure out a way to put something underneath that so it doesn't just completely drop away when I don't want it to. So I'm going to get another box of envelopes. Right, this is a smaller box of envelopes. I just want something just to support the wheel weight a little bit so it doesn't just suddenly drop on the floor, because that way I can catch it if the front starts going. I don't know how I'll rescue it, but at least I can catch it. Right, I'm going to move the tools out of the way so I can kick this box out of the way should I need to. Let's see what happens. Wish me luck. If I disconnect this chain as best I can first. Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to want to drop down, so let's go for it. Okay, well the front of the bike hasn't fallen off, and that all seems to be supporting itself. I was going to suggest putting, I don't know if you can just see this, at the front where the chain will touch the frame. I was going to put a rag there, but there's actually a plastic guard just on there. Let me have a look, see if you can see that. Yeah, just there, there's a plastic guard, so your chain will not damage the paintwork on your frame. So I just need to complete this job and get this wheel out. Starting to see some progress. Get rid of that box. Lovely. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Okay, I'll store this somewhere so I can keep an eye on the orientation so it goes back on the right way. It's got a sprocket on it, so it shouldn't be too hard to get the right way round. So that was actually easier than I thought it would be. If you've got the right tools here, which luckily I did have, I would say that you're probably looking at about a 15-minute job to do that. obviously it's taken me about an hour and a half to do it because I've been filming and stuff. Having taken the back wheel off, definitely going to be easier with two people, particularly when you put the back wheel back in. But I'll have to manage on my own somehow, but I'm sure I'll be able to do that. As I'm not going to be showing you how to put the front wheel back in, it is important to get the right torque setting when you do the back wheel bolt back up, and that is 110 Newton meters. So get yourself a decent Newton meter torque wrench, and you know, you'll be all set. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hope you found this useful. Leave a comment below and let me know how it went for you. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing because it helps out my channel to help other people just like you. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Catch you later.
I get fly, you be crutching on designer that ain't fly. In LA, I scoop the cat or something fast when I slide. Burning rubber, they gon' tax me for the tires, it's alright. On my lonely, I just start up that new iron and I ride. Yeah, this is not a trend. Tattoos on my skin, I'm my daddy's twin.